District Attorney Sandra Doorley. My name is Chris Chichester. I've never committed a crime. This is a Freedom of Information law, documentation, and you're going to ignore what I'm demanding from you. I'm not asking you. Freedom of Information law, financial disclosure statement for District Attorney Sandra Doorley for calendar year 2019. What do you fail to understand? You're a public employee supported by tax files. Do you have a conflict of interest as the district attorney? Where's your money? What do you fail to understand? And you do fail to understand. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to update this with more specific language, and I will send it to you, registered mail, return receipt. But click reply. Tell $129,000 Perry Duckles or another employee at the district attorney's office to click reply and send me your financial disclosure statement. You demand finances from dependents in cases at the district attorney's office, correct? You do demand information where someone that you're pursuing in a real criminal case because you want to see their finances. Why wouldn't you? I'm not an attorney. I don't know how the daily business is conducted, but I will guess that there are times where you demand the finances of defendants, especially in a major case. I'm demanding your finances because you're the district attorney of Monroe County. And I demand to know if you have a conflict of interest. This document doesn't require you to list every penny, every dime, every quarter. It's a range, and you disclose it. What are your investments? Do you own stocks and bonds where you could possibly have a conflict of interest as district attorney? Financial disclosure statement for District Attorney Sandra Doorley for calendar year 2019. What do you fail to understand? And you do fail to understand, you pathetic diva. You know exactly what I'm talking about on here, and you refuse to comply because it's general language. Isn't that right? Yo, Perry Duckles, can you tell your $203,089 King of New York A #1 District Attorney boss Sandra Doorley what I'm demanding? Because you, Perry, are paid $129,525. So can you, Perry, harness all the power of your JD and the $129,525 you paid, and then tell $203,089 King of New York A #1 Sandra Doorley, I demand to know where her money is. Does the prosecutor talk in court? Perry Duckles, how am I delivered to jail when the prosecutor doesn't talk? Where's your money? I'm also attempting to discover if I can demand the same information from the employees at the district attorney's office. The employees are not elected. So there is possibly, and I believe that there is, a separation between the elected official and the finances. You have to face the voters, and I guarantee you're going to be defeated if you run for election because you're looking at the evidence as to why you'll be defeated. I guarantee you will lose. Please run for re-election. So there's a difference between the elected official, elected by the people, you're the duly elected district attorney, and the appointments at the district attorney's office. You decide to pay these individuals this money, but just because you are not elected, these individuals have enormous power to destroy lives. And that's exactly what's happened to me. And you will refuse to tell me, and you have refused to tell me the name of your assistant district attorney who stood in Penfield Town Court, first before 70-year-old John P. Lomenzo Jr., next before bald-headed, wig-wearing Paul Lomenzo, and didn't talk. How am I delivered to jail? King of New York A #1 Sandra Doorley, when the prosecutor doesn't talk. How am I delivered to jail? Deputy King of New York A #1 Perry Duckles and your $129,525 salary when the prosecutor doesn't talk. How does that happen in the United States of America? Suspending operations at Penfield Town Court and redirect defendants away from bald-headed, wig-wearing Paul C. Metzler and James C. Mully Jr. and just let them sit there and do nothing, and then you can avoid catastrophes like me. And I am a catastrophe. I've detailed for 18 months, including a documentation you have signed for the district attorney's office, what's happened to me. I walk outside one day, I stand right here on 26 Sanders Farm Drive, and tell an individual on a tractor for Brock Hall Tree and Lawn Care that nobody owns it, and I walk back in my residence. How's that a crime? Perry Duckles, how's that a crime? This is the $67,000 a year psychopath employed by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Todd Baggs. So I speak to her for a phone in an hour. I have no idea she's writing a warrant for my arrest to walk through this parking lot. You, Perry Duckles, can walk through this parking lot without being arrested. Why? You, Sandra Doorley, can walk through this parking lot without being arrested. Why? Does your citizenship in the United States of America attain a different level than mine? Are you a different kind of American? And the answer to that is yes. That sounds ludicrous when I ask you. You, Perry, can walk through this parking lot and you won't be arrested. If I walk through this parking lot, I'll be arrested. This is the sick lunatic fringe of this Todd Baxter and his $67,000 Shannon Meyer, $85,000 Andrew Reale. And how am I charged with harassment second when I'm not harassing anyone? I go to this gym called PW Fitness. I'm at the back. Jermaine Bennett, the client for Jessica Wagner, your district attorney's office, walks up to me. He punches down. My head snaps back. Andrew Reale arrives. He knows my identity because of this parking lot. Tells me to go out to the vehicle. I'm in the back seat of his Monroe County Sheriff's Office vehicle. Reale tells Bettman the 7 words to say to me. He marches Bettman around to the side of the vehicle. Bettman says, I want to press charges against you. Perry Duckles, a $129,000 salary. Who am I harassing? $203,000, a number one king in New York, Sandra Doorley. Who am I harassing? I'm in jail for these concoctions, and you will not even tell me the name of your assistant district attorneys who stand there in total silence before John P. Lomenzo Jr. and Paul C. Metzger. You know why it's total silence? Because I didn't commit a crime. And they're still concocting crimes for me because of what I'm doing to them on YouTube. And I'm going to be on YouTube relentlessly the entire time you're in office. How do you expect to survive re-election with this? I'm not at a level of rage about these salaries that certain people would be. But the reason why I use the language I do, because I know that there will people be in a rage about these salaries. The guy making $50,000 a year who lives in Webster, struggling from paycheck to paycheck. When that guy making $50,000 a year in Webster, struggling paycheck to paycheck, looks at this list of salaries, because I'm going to have this in PDF online, hypothetically. If this individual, this hypothetical person looks at this, and then sees $117,798 Raymond Benitez, what do you think that guy in Webster is going to think? And then when that same person looks at $117,798 Michelle Crowley, what do you think that guy in Webster is going to think? And why are those two salaries the same? Why does Raymond Benitez earn $117,798, and why does Michelle Crowley earn $117,798? Did they negotiate that? Did you, Raymond and Michelle, go in a brutal negotiation with Sandra Doorley, and just by a miracle of coincidence, you both arrived? I'm trying not to laugh at $117,798. How did you come to this bizarre number? Sandra, I know you were told there would be no math, but pay attention here. None of these is rounded off. I'll just read the last 5. And why don't you round it off? Round it off meaning a coherent number. 50,000, 55,000, 60,000, 65,000, 70,000, and on within $5,000 increments until you get all the way up to King of New York, game number 1, Sandra Doorley, $203,000. So the last 5 on the first page, these are the salaries. When I say it's bizarre, it's bizarre. When I use language and descriptions, I attempt to achieve it with precision. And this is bizarre. These last 5 I'm going to read. How do you arrive at these numbers? When I was a public employee, salary, I went in there, it was rounded off, 55,000, 72,000, 90,000. It was rounded off. Last 5. Aaliyah Fowler, 61,909. Mark Freese, 55,530. Patrick Gallagher, 97,909. Emily Gallagher, 40,726. William Gargan, 113,465. Those last 5. How do you arrive at that number, Sandra Doorley? You don't hire everyone. The only one I'm guessing you hired is William Gargan, another one of these 6-figure lawyers, at 113,465. But those 5 that I just read, how do you arrive at these numbers, Perry Duckles? Oftentimes in bureaucracy, the head of the bureaucracy, the boss, in your case, Sandra Doorley, has no idea what's going on. Totally ignorant. And then the number 2 runs the whole show, runs the place, makes all the decisions, knows everything. I don't know what that's like at the district attorney's office, but I'll guess that given the incompetence, buffoonery, and stoogism and criminality of Sandra Doorley, I'm guessing you run everything. You run the show. You're the de facto district attorney of Monroe County. That's what I think, Perry. So, $129,525. How did you arrive at that salary? Did Sandra Doorley deny your demand to be paid $130,525, and she brought you down to $129,525? Bizarre numbers. And that's the way it is with the sheriff's office, too. Perry, what would you think if you were walking your dog that you adopted from Lollipop Farm Humane Society, same way for 7 years and 4,000 times in this? Sheriff Todd Baxter's fanatics, degenerates, sociopaths, and criminals at your door demanding your dog. What would you think of that, Perry? Walking your dog the same way, and there they are pounding on the door, demanding your dog. You think that they're psychopaths, wouldn't you, Perry? Would you think that here you are walking your dog the same way for 7 years and 4,000 times, and there's Todd Baxter's bald head at the residence of Perry Duckles and his $129,525 salary? You think they're psychopaths. So when I refer to them as psychopaths and fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths and criminals, this is why. It's the lunatic fringe. So, comply with the Freedom of Information Law, Perry. My name is Christopher Chichester. I have never committed a crime.